Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Jaron Ennis needs to avoid Ryan Garcia. Now, let me just say this. First of all, like and subscribe, become a member to the channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. People, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. Now, I went back and forth with somebody today about this. And they're telling me that Jaron Ennis needs to avoid Ryan Garcia. So my thing is this. Ryan, does he have a strong left hook? Got to give him credit for that. But outside of that, what makes somebody think that Ryan Garcia would beat Jaron Ennis? Now, would the fight be interesting? Yeah. Is a fight with Ryan Garcia dangerous for any opponent? Yeah, it is. Anyone fighting a guy like Ryan who has that special power, God-gifted power, right? It could get ugly in there real quick, especially with that freaking speed he has. But my thing is this. The individual was comparing Devin Haney to Jaron, basically saying if Ryan was able to find the mistakes Devin was making and exploit those mistakes, he'd be able to do the same thing to Jaron Ennis. And let me just say this. I'm not a fan of Jaron or Ryan. I just like boxing, okay? First thing, there's a couple of things we need to look at here. When you talk about Ryan Garcia, 24 wins, 20 kills, 1 knockout. He's 5'8" with a 70-inch reach, okay? So let's just look at that. 5'8", 70-inch reach. Then when you come and look at Jaron Ennis, 34 wins, 30 KOs. He's 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. Right there we can stop. Because Jaron Ennis in this case, he has the reach advantage. Now, let's make this even more interesting here, right? I got all this government contract stuff up right here. Watch this. Because it just annoyed me that this and the individual who it wasn't even a conversation. I almost had to put the bing bings on him because he was so passionate about his point. But now you take a look at, this guy. So let's look at it. Devin, 5'9", 71-inch reach. Okay? Devin was able to out-jab Ryan Garcia and outbox him from rounds 2 to like 7 or 8. And then Ryan landed another big shot because Devin stayed in front of him too long, and it was all downhill. Devin did that with just a 1-inch reach advantage, okay? But then we want to come now, and you want to say that this guy here, the beast from the East, Jaron Ennis, who has an additional 3 inches on Devin, additional 2 inches on both of them in height, and you're going to suggest that Jaron Ennis, with his, superior boxing skills, wouldn't be able to get in there and make an easy night against Ryan Garcia? Now, so to that, I had to say, hold your horse and let's stop taking it to the stupid. But the problem I have with Jaron Ennis is he keeps his hands down. And I'll say this. Stanley Eunice was able to land some shots on Ennis that I don't think he should have landed. And I will say that I think Ryan, especially with that left hand, hits much harder than Stanley Eunice, much harder than what's his name, Avanesian, much harder than Chikadzian, much harder than Roman Villa. I think Ryan Garcia, if Boots fought Ryan, I think Ryan would be the hardest puncher that he's faced. But it's only one shot. I don't think Boots would have an issue taking that left hook away from him. However, Boots does get comfortable in fights. Okay, and he does keep his hands down. And I'll say, if Ryan lands cleanly with the left hook on anybody, he can hurt him, and he could knock him out. Because once he gets you hurt and your body loses control and you start dancing salsa in the ring, Ryan Garcia he converges on you, and he's looking to get you out of there. But how does Ryan do it? That's my thing. Ryan's not going to out-jab Boots. He's not going to out-muscle Boots. When they get on the inside, Ryan's Boots on the inside, he's a better inside fighter. But Ryan has the speed, but the only thing he has is that left hook. That's it. Boots can easily take that left hook away from him. Y'all don't understand, boy. Boots can take that left hook away from Ryan Garcia with something called a right hand. Anyway, Ryan Garcia has a lot going on this weekend. He's got to first get past Rolly, which I think he will. But Rolly has a new trainer too. I was surprised to see that. Rolly keeps changing trainers. I don't think that's a good thing. But I think Ryan gets past that. But at the same time, does it make sense for Boots to fight Ryan? Financially, maybe so. Because we know if Ryan fights, there are a lot of people who are going to watch it. But for Eddie Hearn, he may not want that fight for Jaron Ennis. So what do you do here? It's like with Terrence Crawford when he was on Top Rank, he had Manny Pacquiao. Crawford wanted to fight Pacquiao. That was a big money fight, and they didn't want to make it. It could be because they were trying to protect Manny Pacquiao, or whatever the reason was, they didn't want to make it. So Crawford missed out on a huge payday. And in this case here, I can see where they won't want Jaron Ennis to fight Ryan, and Jaron missed out on a huge payday. The difference here is the worry was that Terrence Crawford was going to kill Manny, and the concern here that I believe on the part of Eddie Hearn would be Ryan Garcia presents a serious threat. Does he think Jaron Boots beats him? Yeah, they fight 10 times. He believes he'll beat him 10 times. But he also knows in every 10 times they fight, you just had to take it round by round because at any time Ryan can detonate that left hook and it's going to be all downhill. And I am going to say this. It's like fighting Deontay Wilder. We watch Wilder fight now and we're like, he's not the same, but you're still kind of waiting to see Wilder get that right hand off on somebody. And for Jaron, my thing is, if you want to become undisputed, stay focused on that. All the big money will come. I think Jaron has everything it takes to go on and become undisputed. I think Brian Norman Jr. poses a real threat as well. A lot of people out here saying Brian Norman Jr. is no threat. Y'all so biased and obviously have no gag reflex. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sick with the biasness, man. Brian Norman Jr. poses a real threat. But to me, if Boots is going to go out here and he wants to chase big money, at least clean up the 147-pound division first and just avoid Ryan. But that doesn't mean he's putting duck sauce on the fried rice. Look, how many people can Jaron Boots in his fight at the same time? 2-3 fights a year. What y'all want this man to do? You know what I'm saying? But if they're going to go for the money, show me the money. When you look at what's possible at 147, now I know Boots has 2 belts. He's trying to figure out his next move. He may have to face the mandatory Garcia. But if he gets a voluntary defense and he chooses to go in a big money fight with Ryan, how'd I say he better win? He better win it, man. Because when you look at some of these fighters now, there's a lot of guys who didn't get an opportunity to fight and make the kind of money that Boots could make in one fight against a guy like Ryan. But at the end of the day, it's the business of boxing is going to take priority. And I think Boots, in my opinion, he should just focus on becoming undisputed. And then after that, the money's there. You fight anybody you want who can make 147. And you're going to be the A side. If he goes and fights Ryan, it's going to be hard for Boots to try to say he's the A side, even though he has 2 belts. Ryan is the money man. I mean, if you want to, Boots can go fight whoever he wants with those 2 belts. He ain't going to make the kind of money he'd make fighting Ryan. Ryan is the cash cow. And when you're the cash cow, you're the A side in most instances. It's simple. It's business, people. Okay? So that being said, as far as Jaron needing to avoid Ryan, look, I think Boots beats him. I think Ryan has a chance, but I think Boots beats him. But if he's going to go for the big money fights, these freak show type of fights, these borderline exhibition style kind of bullshit fights, because that's all it will be seen as a circus. Him and Ryan Garcia just be seen as a circus. Although we know that's a good fight, it'll be seen as a circus. To me, Jaron should just chill, go out there, do his business at 147, then as undisputed, if he still wants to hang around 147, then go out there and get the big fights. But, you know, boxing is one of those things. An opportunity may be here today, gone tomorrow. So you pass up on the Ryan Garcia opportunity, it never comes around, and you go on out here and in that one fight where you could have made $30 million or so, especially if Turkey Al-Sheikh's involved. You go out here and you fight 7, 8 fights, and you still didn't make the kind of money you would have made for that one fight. So it's tough. But anyway, y'all keep cool. But let's just keep some things in perspective here. Jaron Boots Ennis, 5'10", 74-inch reach. All right. This is Devin Haney. Okay, there it goes. Just popped up. This is Devin Haney, 5'9", 71-inch reach. And then you got Ryan Garcia, who is 5'8", 70-inch reach. There's a lot of advantages Jaron Ennis has over Ryan and Devin as far as his physicality and just the way this man was created. That just gives him an advantage over both of them. Doesn't mean that he's gonna get in there and necessarily easily beat him. But I think he blows Devin out the water. I think he gives Ryan the business. But the thing with Ryan, again, is that speed and that he's got the equalizer. If Boots gets lazy in there, the fight could get interesting. But bottom line, I got Boots clipping both of those guys. Maybe too big, too strong, too smart, too durable. And if there were other fighters who were able to get to the finish line with Ryan, I definitely don't see why a much bigger, stronger Boots can't do the same. Anyway, keep cool. Y'all need to hold your horses and stop with the nonsense. Jaron needs to avoid Ryan Garcia. Yeah, in the sense of he needs to focus on Undisputed and then look for the big money fights. But of putting duck sauce on the fried rice because Jaron's going to lose to him, I don't know if I agree with that. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.